enthusiasts. This is Ivan Monokolesny with you. Today we are reviewing the Russia as part of the European Off-Road League EUC Race Pro. On your screens you see a training session where people are test riding the track and trying their first strength. The conditions for today's race are quite challenging. The track is almost entirely grass, which is slippery in itself. The weather conditions had difficulty all day. It has been alternately pouring and then stopping rain. Riders are trying their first laps, or these shots are provided by the race participants. Not everything is going as planned. Some people can't handle the control. There was practically no rider who didn't fall either during the practice sessions or in the races. Under conditions, the race was conducted in the format practice, qualifications, semi-finals and finals, and today we are covering the final stage. 12 of the fastest and most skilled riders in Europe. The start takes place in the so-called Le Mans style, meaning the participants run to their device. Taking this opportunity, I want to thank our sponsors, the European monowheel store Ekolka.cz, the unicycle manufacturer King Song, and the Polish pedal manufacturer Nylonov, and energy drink manufacturer Kofola and Semtex.
So let's go. 3, 2,
The racers run to their wheels. This is a very complex technical element. You need to run up to the wheel, stabilize it, stand up and ride. Already here we see that some riders lose their positions. It's very important to start well, because overtaking on the track is quite difficult. The fight for first place, Martin and Wojtek Zizka are battling for first place, wheel to wheel, very close, but Martin isn't letting him through. It's very important to keep your position here, because overtaking on this track is nearly impossible. There are only a few spots where it can be done. High speed straight. Yeah, Wojtek goes into the turn and fall. Yes, that's a big mistake. We see Wojtek losing position after position, unable to stabilize his wheel and start moving. Wojtek Zizka, one of the strongest riders in Europe, makes a mistake on the first lap, and now the race will no longer be an easy ride for him. And here we see Andrew Iusi. Ahead of him is Gabriel, and he goes off the track. Andrei moves up one position. We see Gabriel struggling with his wheel and losing about 5 positions. Just one mistake at the start can cost a rider the entire race. Wojtek Zizka continues to push forward. In front, behind him is Yusi Boy. The boy is only 10 years old, but he is already competing on equal terms with adults. Wojtek is trying to find even a small gap to break through. They come out onto the straight. It's clear that the veteran Lynx has a big power advantage over the S16, and Zizka manages to overtake Max. Rocky EUC continues his breakthrough and passes Dave, the guy in the red shirt. Oh, this is the top 3 leaders. Martin Adam is in the lead. In second place is Daniel Torpedo, and in third place is Andrew EUC. A very tight group of leaders. Jan Falina makes a mistake by grazing the grass with the edge of the wheel, but Wojtek lacks the moment to overtake. Yes, in this part of the track, overtaking is very difficult. You just have to bide your time waiting for a wider section. The battle for the lead is becoming tighter. This is Martin's first race, and look, in his first race he is already in the lead. Rocky Yusi continues his breakthrough and overtakes Max. Andrew and Torpedo head into the home stretch. Here Andre has a big speed advantage, but he decided not to take risks and avoid creating an emergency situation. He tries to lean more on the wheel from the turn and accelerate. Vojta is catching up with the guys. It's clear that his pace is faster than that of the leading group. Andrei keeps pressuring Torpedo, moves inside, not too quiet, and wants to overtake 2 riders at once, but it doesn't work out. From the drone, with the Alpha drone, we see they're riding very close. This is a fast straight, and here the strong, powerful wheels have an advantage. The most important thing is not to fall in the most dangerous turn. The guys successfully make it through this turn, going left. Martin still holds the lead position. It's clear that Andrei is controlling the race and staying as close as possible to Martin, waiting for his mistake. A technical section to the right, to the left, we exit onto the track from the right side. And we see, there it is, there's the mistake. Martin goes too wide to the right, Andrei goes to the left, nearly loses wheel control, accelerates and goes into edge turn slightly before Martin. Martin does not want to give up until the last moment, but is forced to let Andrei pass because he just had a better trajectory. Wojtek Zizka has almost caught up with the leading trio, just a little more, and he will join them and enter the fight for the medals.
Yes, we see that there is very little left. In the heat of the battle, the guys lost speed and Vojta can stamp out lap after lap, gradually catching up to them. A good overtaking attempt from Torpedo. He tried to go on the inside, but Martin didn't let him. Martin is controlling the situation, but Torpedo is very close, and in every turn he pressures Martin and tries to find even a small gap to slip through and take the lead. Andrei Jusi is comfortably pulling ahead. We see that there's already about 20 meters between them. It looks like the calm before the storm. Yes, Stradiela. Torpedo is pressuring Martin and Vojta is just about literally a few meters from the guys. The starting straight. Vojta has maximum speed here and we see how he eats up all the advantage the guys had in front of him meter by meter. Already after the turn, after the starting straight, he is literally on Torpedo's wheel and we expect an attack. Vojta won't wait for several laps. He's sold out. He will try to make his move immediately to overtake the guys and fight for the lead. He overtakes Torpedo, but Torpedo doesn't let him. He takes the inside trajectory and closes off the opportunity of overtaking. Straight here Vojta has all the advantages. He doesn't have the best exit. He's looking for a chance to pass Torpedo. Torpedo controls the situation and it seems here it is. Here comes the overtaking, but Torpedo doesn't let him squeeze through that gap. Yes, it's a very heated battle. Of course, you can't relax for a second. Torpedo constantly looks back and perhaps that's a mistake. But Martin shouldn't relax either. Any slightest mistake, slightest lapse, wrong trajectory or braking point, and that's it. You're done and you lose your position. This is again the place where Andrew overtook Martin, and now Torpedo is taking advantage of the situation and slips inside. Martin is trying to rectify the situation, trying to somehow catch up with Torpedo and overtake him, but Torpedo is very fast in the high-speed turns and instantly pulls ahead, creating a gap of about 5 to 6 meters, and Vojta is already pressing from behind. Yes, Martin is having a not very easy race. He started first, held the lead for the first few laps, but now he has already been overtaken by 2 riders, and the third one, the fastest rider, is closing in from behind. A slow section where Torpedo has a good advantage. He is very fast in the turns with quick acceleration, but then there will be 2 very fast straight sections where he will need to hold his position. Yes, Vojta is pressing Martin from behind. Section with narrow turns. Vojta is waiting for Martin to make a mistake to reclaim his position. They are entering the slowest section. Vojta is literally on his wheel. Just half a meter and he can overtake Martin. Not a very good exit. Straight, acceleration, and we're expecting a battle after the finish straight. So Vojta goes inside trying to exit better than Martin. It seems like there was contact between the riders. Vojta slows down a bit. Martin has the inside line. He does not let pass. Vojta holds the inside and there's nothing Vojta can do here. The only thing left is to tuck in behind Martin and wait for a chance to overtake. Again, one more acceleration. He's trying to go around the outside. It hasn't worked for him once in this race. He tried it several times with different riders. We see Martin immediately pulling away, leaning behind Torpedo. For Torpedo, this is the most difficult section because Flo is here and the guys are pressing immediately. But in the part where the fast shifts and technical turns begin, Torpedo feels just perfect and Martin makes a mistake, goes too wide, Vojta goes inside and he takes another position. Also that's ahead is Torpedo and open space. Now you have to be very careful. Torpedo is a technical rider and he won't give up his position just like that. You need to find the time, the perfect spot where you can do overtake. Vojta tries to pass on the left. Torpedo covers all trajectories. Yes, the track is very technical, fast, and one mistake can cost you the entire the race. Vojta tries to overtake on the outside. Torpedo controls this and instantly blocks the path. Vojta goes a bit onto the grass. He has to slow down and this doesn't allow him to overtake. Torpedo covers the inside path. They enter the turn and that's it. The technical session begins. In this part of the track, overtaking is practically impossible and Torpedo has the advantage here, so Vojta has no choice but to wait until this session ends and head for the faster straights. And Andrei is still visibly driving in a relaxed mode to avoid making a silly mistake. He is holding his first position with a very large lead. The fight continues till the last second. The tension is just off the charts. The guys enter the technical section Vojta has a very good exit where he is literally glued to Torpedo's wheel, moves to the straight, applies full power to his links, and he manages to overtake on the straight. He gains so much speed that he misses the turn, and Torpedo has a small chance to cross trajectory. Exiting, he lacks power. He doesn't get on the wheel well or quickly enough, and because of this, he can't capitalize on the advantage of the better trajectory. Vojta exits the turn first with Torpedo on his wheel, but it's clear that Vojta has a faster pace. And now it's his section again, his speed segment. Here, no one is hindering him. He's not fighting anyone. He breaks into open space, and we see a gap of 20 to 30 immediately open up. Everything goes successfully, and he continues his race. And this is the battle for 5th position, and Andrei, who is calmly finishing his race with confidence. It's important to understand that in these races it's not only skill that matters, but also composure. You need to wisely manage your physical strength while also considering your mental state. The main thing is to reach the finish steadily and evenly. Vojta still hopes to make up for his mistake and claw his way to first place, but I fear he won't succeed. The gap is too large. Only a major mistake by Andrei would allow him to move from second to first place. An interesting battle at the tail of the peloton. Jan Havalina still holds 5th place and is fighting against Rocky EUC. Here it is, straight line speed versus stability, but essentially they are racing in roughly the same position. Yes, we are in natural surroundings outside Prague. Look, another race participant has decided to join the final winning lap. And we switch to the battle for 5th place. Rocky Uzi is fighting with Jan, pressing his links, accelerates sharply, and we see that he manages to overtake Jan, but he fails to brake and goes off into the bushes. Again, stability versus speed. And here is the final straight. The drone descends and we watch the leaders finish. So Andrew Uzi, first place. Wojciech Žižka, second place. And in third place, Dan Torpedo, but the battle isn't over yet. Rocky UC is fighting against Jan Valina to the last of the lap. Acceleration, a very unusual spot. No one had overtaken here before. He just boldly shoved into a place where no one had ventured and no one had ever overtaken. I think Jan just didn't expect such audacity and didn't know how to handle it. Rocky pushed forward and clawed with his teeth for his 5th place. Jan 6th. The first stage within the European Off-Road Unicycle League EUC Race Pro. I remind you that the second stage will be on the 26th of July, also in Prague at the Hammer track. The racers congratulate each other. Incredible result of the 11-year-old racer. I'm terrified to imagine what will happen in a couple of years. For us adults, there will definitely be big problems. I also remind you about the bonuses from our sponsor, Ekolka Cheesy. That's 2 slots for pro riders. If you consider yourself a pro rider, write to us in the comments under the video. The pro package includes free rental of 2 devices and logistic expenses. And now we are observing the battle for 7th, 8th and 9th place. I remind you that the first 10 participants receive points. And we see that Gabriel overtakes Borovica on the final straight and earns a few more points. He moves up 1 position and Dave finishes last. So the top 10 finalists have finished, points are distributed, times recorded. Congratulations guys, this is a historic event. First off-road European Unicycle League. In the first race within this championship, I believe that everything turned out quite not bad. An interesting track, an interesting championship, very strong riders, and it will only get more. Also the second bonus from our sponsor, if you are a rider not from the European Union and cannot come with your own wheel, then Ekolka DCS offers a unicycle rental service. If you interesting, all the contacts are in the descriptions for this video. Once again, I want to thank our sponsors, the European unicycle store Ekolka.cz, one of the world's best unicycle manufacturers King Song, the Polish pedal and power pads manufacturer Nilonov, as well as the energy drink producers Kofola and Semtex. A huge number is already registered for the races in Hammer. Participants, pilots from different countries, and I hope there will be even more by the time of the race, and we will see a truly incredible, cool international race. Thank you all for your attention. This was Ivan Monokolesny, and we'll see you in future videos. Thank you all. Goodbye.